If you've ever watched HGTV, you've seen house flippers in action. The main idea is to buy a property below market value, right? Renovate it and sell it for a profit. Flipping can bring in big profits quickly. You do it right, and if timing's on your side, it could be great. But you've got to go a few months without any income coming in, hoping for that big payout. And if the market flips not in your favor, 2008, you're screwed. Yikes. Not the safest investment structure. Also, not to mention, this isn't cash flow, it's cash now. As soon as you sell the home, you're out of the job and you've got to restart over and over again. Listen, it works, but if you need stable or steady income, aka cash flow, but you don't want to work overtime, OT, to get it, then let's talk about some other options. If you want to invest in real estate, but you don't want the hassle of owning property, real estate investment trusts are an excellent option. A REIT is like a mutual fund for real estate. You invest money and the trust uses it to buy, operate, and finance income-generating properties like malls, apartment complexes, office buildings. The great thing about REITs is that there's no large upfront investment. You just buy shares like you would with stocks. You earn money through dividends and potential share price appreciation. This is perfect for passive investors who want real estate exposure without the headaches of property management. Wholesaling is also another option, right? It's about finding great real estate deals, passing them to other investors for a fee. Essentially, you act as the middleman by finding a distressed or undervalued property and get the property under contract, and then you sell the contract to an investor for a profit without ever even really owning the property. You don't need much money to start since you're not actually buying the property, but it does require a network, which most people who are just starting don't have. And of course, strong negotiation skills. You don't need to have much money to start since you're not actually buying the property, but it does require a network, which most people who are just starting don't have. And of course, strong negotiation skills. And lastly, you've got to have knowledge of the market. And if you choose the wrong home or no one buys it from you, you're kind of screwed. But be warned too. By wholesaling under your own name, you also run the risk of being tagged as a dealer by the IRS, and you don't want that. One of the other potential snags is the issue of assignability of contracts. A wholesaler's profit depends on their ability to assign the contract to a third party. Number next is commercial real estate. And this involves properties like, office buildings, retail centers, warehouses, multifamily apartment complexes. Commercial leases often last longer than residential ones, which means the income is more stable. Additionally, businesses are usually responsible for maintenance, which reduces your responsibilities. Something to keep in mind is that commercial properties do require significant upfront capital, and they are more complex to manage. You've got tenants, you've got toilets, you've got annual turnover, and drama. You're likely to need a team of experts to help you with financing, legal paperwork, and tenant agreements, as well as tenant management. My favorite way to cash flow is with an industry that has a major demand and nearly abysmal supply. It may not be the sexiest industry, but it's one that will have a huge boom for the next 30 plus years. And it's what we call the silver tsunami of seniors. Can you guess what I'm referring to? That's right, residential assisted living. I break it down in this video right here on YouTube, the first 5 steps on how to get started. So check it out. We show people how to cash flow $10,000 a month on one single family home, working only 5 hours a week and not working in the home, but running the real estate, running the business. But I also want to show you 2 other ways that you can invest in RAL before we depart here today. Next is buying raw land. Hey, it might not sound as exciting or trendy as Airbnb or a flashy office building, but it has a lot of potential. I know a lot of land flippers and they hate working with people. So land it is for them. Land can be developed, it can be leased for farming, or held long-term for appreciation. It requires minimal maintenance, and in growing areas, it can skyrocket in value. But you just have to find the perfect area. You can't mess this up. And it's important to remember that land doesn't generate cash flow unless developed or leased. It's more of a holding play or a flipping play. Again, you're out of the money game the moment you sell. Finally, let's talk about the sexy fun one, Airbnb. Everyone thinks, oh my God, this is the best way to invest in real estate these days. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but with profits around $2,000 a month, it could be a lot of work for not enough reward, in my opinion. And also consider you have cities who just shut down owners overnight, no legal protection, and you could be out of business overnight, screwed on your investment at the click of a finger. Yikes. I like to invest in something that makes sense in our economy. In any economy, right? It doesn't matter if things are going well or not, because we're all aging, and 70% of us will need support and care for an average of 3.5 years. So we are going to end up dealing with assisted living one way or another. I just show people how to take advantage of this before they need it. So when they or a loved one need the care they will inevitably need, they have a place to move into for free. But all the while they've been cash flowing and not having to spend their entire day working or living in the home. Want to keep learning? Click here and watch this video next.